Hi guys, today we want to talk about a beautiful sunrise sector. In fact, that's already being a sun is already shining on the sector. Is about the business design. So the moment I think of business design or design per se, the first thing that comes to my mind is fashion industry, this and that. So is it something related to that in what we are talking about when we say business design, or something different?
Business design essentially tries to integrate the designer's approach of solving problem with the business analytical mindset. So, it's actually blend of two words, business and design. So, typically, business professionals, their life is spent in Excel sheets. They're very numerical kind of thing. Whereas the designers are very color savvy and they're aesthetic and innovative and also we blend both of those thinking. So this integration of business and design is what the word business design comes. Business design innovation, the core of this being a design thinking. Now, one of the aspect of design thinking is that it should be human centric, which in a business sense, it means it should be customer centric. Now, you want to understand what are the needs of the customers. Now, how do you understand by needs of the customer? We have something called ethnography study where we go to the customer, speak to them, find out what are the challenges they face, what are their needs and what are their desires. And in order to identify this, we do a qualitative research. And what you see here is actually part of that qualitative research, which is ethnography study. Right. We go to rural sectors, try to identify one sector, like in rural area, education is one sector. In that, we will speak to multiple stakeholders, right from the institution management to teachers to students and parents, and find out what each of them faces as challenges. So basically, you see here, these are some of them. Some of them are listing challenges faced in each of the areas. Like, for example, in education, there is a lack of support from government. Government support is something which probably they would love to have. There are some language barriers are there. So there is also barriers in terms of exposure to school and all. Resource availability is in a problem. Right. Sometimes there are teacher shortages there. So these are all listed down. So these all points have emerged from the study that we conducted.
So business design is more of a consulting job where you have to identify the pain areas of clients and you solve them.
So business, typically our student when they graduate, they go into various roles. They become consultants, they'll become managers, they'll become business developers. So whichever role they go in, essentially they try to bring innovative aspect. This is the whole.
They can go anywhere in that case.
They can go anywhere. So typically our student would join something like BFSI industry, manufacturing, IT, consulting, service industry. These are the typical industries where our past students join, and they are very, very well received. The idea is that whatever role you get in, you apply design thinking and innovative approach to solve those challenges. So typically these are business challenges.
Yeah. Kind of thinking out of the box. So this lab itself look like a out of the box kind of a.
So this lab is a space, we call this as a proto lab. So I think very few management institutes have a proto lab. Ours is one. And for your information, even business design innovation is a program. We were pioneers way back. Correct. And it is one of the kind of program in India. The idea of having this prototype lab is to learn by doing. So you create, your idea is there, you create something and build by hand and then come up with some mock-up models and go to customer, and we call this MVP, minimal viable product. With this minimum viable product, speak to customer and get their feedback saying whether this is okay, not okay. So in short, who should tell whether the solution is right or wrong? It is your customer, isn't it? So how do you kind of convey your ideas to them is why these prototypes or mock-ups that you build upon your strategies and all that. That is typically why this lab is there. So in this lab, we have different materials and different machines. So student would work right from thermocol to wood to plastic. And he'll also do in terms of polyurethane foams. So he'll build some mock-up models. We have a vacuum forming machine. We have a paint booth. And we also have what you call pottery wheel, potter's wheel is there, so they can create a pot, things out of mud. Yeah? So these are some aspect which the student would do. So So we want to student to kind of understand that all of us are born creative. We want to nurture that creativity and build the creative confidence among them. And as they move into their final year, we want to apply this creative approach as well as analytic approach to come up with a new business ideas. And that becomes your BD starting. So we have one platform which is called business BD starting, where student would form groups and they'll come up with ideas, startup ideas, and they'll take it till the prototype stage. They'll essentially apply and build a startup by design thinking approach. So empathy is the first and most important aspect. So they will empathize with their customers, try to find out what are the pain points, then redefine their problem statement. Is this really the problem they want to solve? And once they have understood what exact problem they wish to solve of the customer, then probably they'll go ahead and generate a couple of business ideas. And it could be service ideas, it could be process ideas, it could be even business model and business plan. And this gets prototyped and tested. And this prototype and testing is why this becomes the core of business design innovation. This is one approach which I think
Correct.
our
So
student goes.
any student who is interested in innovation and have the problem solving ability as well and wish to get into some kind of innovative ideas.
So according to me, all of us are born creative, isn't it? It is education which ruined us, isn't it?
True.
So all of us are born creative. We have to remove this notion that creative people are some special. All of us are creative. It is just that we have to build the confidence that we can also do something good. So this ideally there are two phases in any problem solving. One is called convergent thinking approach, another is called divergent thinking approach. Now, in convergent thinking approach, you are doing what is analytical thinking or a vertical thinking. You kind of narrow down in one idea and implement it. Whereas in case of divergent, you explore multiple ideas. You come up with many answers, many options, and then from there you narrow down to one or two. So in a design thinking approach, besides prototyping and iteration, this divergent thinking and convergent thinking is a part of the pedagogy which the student has to learn to solve different kinds and different challenges of business problems.
And problems are everywhere. So whichever industry you pick up, there will be problems.
So I think yes. So as long as see, we are living in a VUCA world. Because of VUCA world, the rate at which changes are happening, I think the answers which were already there in the past, they are no longer valid. So you have to think something different. Now, how do you think different? Everybody talks about out of box and thinking different. But unless the student is given a tools to think differently, he cannot think differently. So there is a module which a student undergoes, which is called Tools for Innovation. I mean, this Tools for Innovation, we want them to learn as many tools to come up with different answers and different options, so that their creativity and innovation quotients are increased. That's one way to do it.
Great, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Dr. Thank you.